channel. So today we are doing another story time video. I like doing these story time videos. They're so much fun, so I'm going to continue to do them throughout the year. So yeah, we are going to, let's just get right into this video. So this actually happened, not to me, I did witness it firsthand, but this actually happened to my coworker. So pretty much at the salon that I work at, if you guys don't know, I booth rent a station inside of this open concept salon. So pretty much starts off with us being in the salon, and my coworker, she no longer even works there, but she had this client, this lady that came in. I believe she found her online on Facebook. So yeah, she comes in, she had gotten her hair done with that lady before, so her hair was already previously lightened, so she had pretty much a balayage, right? So she comes into the salon and that's what she wants again. She wants it done all over again. She wants like the same look, and she just wants her blonde brought up higher, which was fine, easy, whatever. Here's the thing, her hair was super grown out, right? So the problem that this lady had was that her hair was probably 4 inches grown out. When you have 4 inches grown out and you have a very dark root, to be able to lighten it to be this color, if my hair is this color on the ends and I have my natural root, which is literally almost black, like a dark brown, and it's 4 or 5 inches grown out. Now, stylists can either do one of two things. I've seen them do both online. So they can either consider that a color correction, which is going to be a little bit more expensive of a process, or they can just go ahead and charge you a little bit more, but just consider it a same, doing a balayage and just bringing it up, just pretty much like a touch-up. So with the color correction, here's how pricing goes. When you have a balayage and it's grown out, unless you've been cutting at it and little by little you've gone to get a haircut, it's going to grow. So my hair has been growing and my roots were coming down, hence why I got it done recently, and yeah, it's been growing. So my hair has gotten longer, which means that I am going to be using more products because my hair is now longer and I have so much new growth, right? So it's going to be a lot more product. Then if I were to have done it, say I did it a year ago, my hair was here and they brought it all the way up to my root, that wasn't that much. So it's going to be a price increase. I feel for obvious reasons, your hair is longer, you have new growth, it's a thing. So for color correction, some stylists actually charge, I've seen anywhere from $80 to $100 an hour. So if they spend 4 or 5 hours on your hair, that's $400 or $500. But if they want to go the other route and they're feeling nice, they could just do a balayage. Now a balayage, it's still going to take some time, because if you are super light on your ends, to be able to make it all look the same level and to be the same, because your hair can only lift so much in one session without your hair just having being done with itself. If you were to do that, they could charge you a little bit more per bowls of lightener, which I've seen people charge $10 extra for every single bowl that they use, and it might not be as expensive as if you were to do a color correction. So it just depends on your stylist. Obviously it also depends the location, your location, where you live, who's doing it, all that good stuff. So this lady came in and she had a grown out balayage, and they did it in the consultation. She kind of confirmed, hey, my prices have increased a little bit, I'm going to charge you a little bit more, plus the fact that your hair is longer. So the lady told my coworker, she was like, that is totally fine, I totally get it, thank you so much, I would pay literally anything for your work because it's so amazing, and blah 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 blah. She just was going on your work is just so good, I am down to pay whatever I have to, because I just love the way that my hair comes out whenever you do it. So my coworker was like, oh my god, okay, thank you so much, yeah, let's do it, let's work on it. This process, she was just going to do a balayage. It was probably going to be about a 4 to 5 hour balayage process. So it does take some time. Ladies, just know when you go into the hair salon, you're on your hair's time and your hairstylist's time, not your time, because hair literally has a mind of its own, and it could take you know, somebody that only takes 2 hours could literally take you like 4 or 5 hours. So it just depends on you and your hair. You know, she starts kind of getting a little anxious, kind of like, oh, you know, how long is this process gonna take? Blah, blah, blah. And so, you know, this is all stuff that was like talked about during the consultation. So we both, like, I kind of looked at my coworker and I was like, why is she like freaking out over the time? Because she said she had nowhere else to go, like it was fine, she didn't really care, she had nothing else to do that day anyways, so she was just like, whatever, like it doesn't matter. She starts putting her under the dryer to kind of let the lightener process a little bit faster. Heat kind of makes the lightener swell, I guess, a little bit, and it just kind of makes the process go a little bit better. You're technically, just putting that out there, technically I wouldn't recommend that. I always say like put a towel over your client's hair, but you know, some people do whatever they want. The lady's like on her phone and she starts to give my coworker kind of a little bit of trouble, saying how she didn't want to pay any more money than what she had paid previously. And even though it was already talked about in the consultation, that's why my coworker was just a little like we talked about this, like we talked about there was going to be a price increase, because this happens a lot too. Before too, not only was her hair shorter, which made her price cheaper, but she also didn't feel like she was experienced enough. So this client was one of those clients that literally only comes in like once a year to get their hair done, and so she's very low maintenance. And this happens a lot, like sometimes clients like once every so often, or this happens a lot, professionals once every so often, once they feel like they are getting a little bit of a steadier clientele, their skills are improving, they will start to have a price increase. Like they are worth a little bit more extra money, and they're a little bit higher in demand. It's totally normal. A lot of people do this. Just like, you know, just like when you're in demand, sometimes you can do that. When you're high in demand, you can raise the price a little bit. She really, you know, she was just creating this little fuss how she didn't want to pay any more than what she had paid last time when her hair was short. And she started coming up with all of these different reasons of why she wasn't gonna want to pay. She was like, well, how about if I just lighten my hair this much? Like I just leave the blonde down here, I don't do a full thing, I don't bring it high, like as high, I don't do this and this and this. Pretty much trying to find like other options after she was already put all of the foils in her hair, after she highlighted this whole entire process. Like the work's been done, like nothing else at this point you can change. Like you're already so deep into the process, like you can't go back and say anything, because it's literally like there's not going to be a price decrease. This client's kind of just like, what if I do this and this and this? So she starts kind of hassle, like being a little bit problematic. So the owner of the salon, which this, you know, doesn't happen in every place when you're booth renting, but this just happened for that situation. She went up to her, she was like, hey, like, is there a problem? Like, is there anything that I can do to help, or just like anything like that? And the lady actually had an attitude with the owner, and I'm just like shampooing my client and I'm like seeing this all unfold, and she's telling the owner like, this is none of your business, you don't need to be here, you don't need to be talking to me, you don't need to be telling me anything, like anything. And the owner is just like, oh my god, like I'm just trying to help and like diffuse the situation. I don't know what's happening, I don't know why you have a problem with me, like try to fix things or just kind of like talk to you to see like what's happening, what's going on. And the lady just literally had like the biggest, ugliest attitude with her, and just was like, well, I just don't want to pay that much, like I don't think I have to pay that much. But she did even tell the owner, she was like, I mean, I do love the girl's work, like her work is amazing, I just don't want to pay that much. And after this happened, we were like, oh my god, like you literally are admitting like she does an amazing job, so you're not unhappy with her work, you just cannot like afford her. And I mean, I don't know if she technically lied, so, you know, said that it was fine to pay that, and just is throwing a fit now about the price because she doesn't want to pay. She wanted to have it done, but she kind of like wanted to scam her way out of this situation. So after this like happened, you know, there wasn't anything more to do. Like she already had foiled her hair, she just went ahead, you know, did the whole balayage situation, because like, you know, there's nothing else to do. They did like sit and like talk about it, but you had to take the lightener out, and you know, like you had to do something with her hair, you weren't just gonna leave it. So, you know, finally the client's like, okay, fine, like whatever. But what she was saying was that her husband did not want her to spend that kind of money on her hair. And her husband was the one that had a problem with her doing that. Her husband didn't actually want her to go blonde. Her husband liked her hair to be a certain way. He, you know, whatever. So she was putting the blame on her husband, which I don't even know if this was like true or if she was just coming up with something because she just didn't want to pay or whatever. After this whole situation happened, she ended up, you know, she was giving her a hard time about paying. I think she had raised it. I think it was a $50 price change, which to some people could be a lot. To me, it's just like, I don't know, like you're not gonna tip anyways, so you might as well, like, the $50 shouldn't be like that serious, especially if you had talked about it in the beginning and you were like, you knew how much it was. I don't know why you would throw a fit about $50 if you already knew and you agreed to pay that, you know? So after this whole situation happened, she did end up paying the money. She did throw a fit. She actually went on to Google and went to the location, our salon location, and she left a really bad review. And she also emailed the owner of the salon kind of saying like all of these different things, saying how her price was a certain price in the beginning. She wasn't happy with how it changed, and she, you know, loved the girl. The girl's work was amazing, but she didn't like how she had to pay so much this time, and like pretty much all this stuff. So you know, the owner just kind of told her like, I'm sorry, but at the same time it's like, yes, you are a professional, but it was like, you were yelling at me, so like why am I going to like there's nothing I can do. Everybody's individual. She did the work, you loved the work, so I'm not gonna like refund you money because you just decided you don't want to pay that much for something you already agreed to and you were already halfway into. She ended up calling the salon. She literally was a psychopath. She called the salon, blew up the phone. She was acting so like trashy, in a sense of like, she would call the salon, she would say that she was going to be doing all this stuff, and she would call the salon and she wouldn't even say anything. She just called to blow up the phone. Like, that's literally all she was doing, was blowing up the phone. She wouldn't even like talk, and we knew it was her. We have caller ID. She didn't even block her like name or number, so we knew exactly who it was. But sometimes she would say like, I'm gonna call the bank, I'm gonna try to say you guys committed fraud, and like try to like say all these like scamming stories and say that we like took her money, and like all, I don't even know, but she would literally blew up the phone. She blew up the emails. She was doing the most until finally the owner of the salon had to call, because it's kind of like a landline, not a landline, so old school, it's like a home phone. So she called the people to do all that, and we figured out how to block her number so that she wouldn't like be calling, because literally she would call it 20, I'm not even exaggerating you guys, 20 times in a row. Sometimes she would say something through the phone, and sometimes she would just like let it just be silent. After we'd say hello, hello, like whatever. No, she was so like so weird. She was a middle-aged woman. Like, we don't really know what her whole issue or her like problem was, because she just didn't want to spend money. And I think that's so sad in this situation. Like, it does, I hate when people ask, like I even personally hate when people ask me, how much lower can you go? Can you do it any cheaper? Can you do this? It's so rude and it's so offensive to ask any professional if they can go any lower on their pricing. I've talked about this before. Like, it's rude. Don't ever ask somebody, can you go lower or can you go cheaper, unless you know for a fact that those people don't mind like going down if they're your friend. But I know any licensed professional would absolutely like laugh at you if you ask them, hey, can't afford you, can you go? Offensive. It's so rude. I've had people do it to me recently, and I just think it's so rude. Like, it makes me not want to do anybody's hair, because not only that, you already know like they're just gonna try to haggle you for the price. My coworker has had a girl that literally, she was gonna do her hair. The lady asked her if she could go lower. She said, no, I can't go lower on your hair color price. Like, those are my prices, they're set. And then she asked, oh, do you sell product too? And she goes, oh yeah, I sell this kind of like deep conditioning treatment. If you want it, it's like $20. And the lady was like, can you just include that in my overall hair price? So I think she was like paying $200. So she was like, can you just include that in the $200 that I'm gonna pay you for my hair? And she was like, no, like I can't do that. It's rude, it's offensive. You don't ask your doctor like, hey, can you go lower? Because I can't afford you. I can't afford to go to the doctor, so can you just like not charge me today? Or like it's even like if you were to go to work and be like, well, you know, your boss is like, well, we don't want to pay you $10 an hour. Can we just pay you like $7 an hour and call it good? Like, you're gonna say no, you know? So anyways, that is that story. Let me know down below what you guys would have done in her situation. Also, if you guys want, I'm going to start doing a new series on my channel, which is going to be called a reacting to subscribers client horror stories. So if you guys want to send me your client horror story, and you guys can stay anonymous if you want, whatever you guys want, you can DM me on Instagram and I will go ahead and read them to people, and we kind of like react to them together and kind of share fun stories. I think it would be a fun series to start. So if you guys want to do that, go ahead and DM me. But with that being said, I love you guys so much. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And also don't forget to go ahead and leave a comment down below. Also, I do have a giveaway going on my channel. It'll be ending January 29th, so don't forget to go ahead and enter that giveaway as well. But with that being said, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys!